Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila B. and I'm coming to you with another review of Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 7. I believe this episode was called Love and Lace Fronts, or Lace Fronts and Love, or something to that effect. It'll be in the description bar. Is it me, or did they not show the To Be Continued when they had that Say That Ish party? Y'all let me know, because this whole conversation was weird. I had to go back and look. I was like, am I missing something? And then in this whole first scene, Joy was talking about the Say That Dish party, but we don't have any context, so we don't even really know what's even going on. But anyway, so Joy, Clifton, and then the new friend Carmen, they are all having dinner, right? Well, lunch or dinner, whatever it is. And Carmen is actually one of the girls that was on the Ready to Love. She was Clifton's second choice, but once Carmen seen I guess the connection between Joy and Clifton, then she kind of opted out and they became friends, and now they're actually business partners. And so they ended up talking about, the Ready to Love back in the day, and they also talk about Clifton's surgery, his back surgery. And as uh, something going on with the nerves. He got to go have surgery on his back because something is pressing up. I guess the spine pressing up against the nerve or something like that. I'm not for sure. And Carmen is just like a regular friend. She's just trying to get an update. How are you in the new girlfriend group? And Joy says, the girls are fun. They're fun to be around, but they can be messy too. And she specifically says Ashley and Alicia. And she actually calls Alicia a sidekick. She says that, they've been friends ever since they were kids, but Alicia always has something to say when it comes to Ashley. And I don't know what happened at the Say the Dish party, but apparently something happened um, because yeah, Carmen was also saying, like, so who are you pretty much closest with? She said, well, I'm mainly closest with Arena. Out of all the girls, she said she wants to develop a relationship with Ashley, but them other girls, like, nah, she really not really featuring them other girls like that. And I don't know what happened at the Say That Ish party, but something must have happened that rubbed Joy the wrong way. And so it made Carmen say, so who is the new girl in charge? Who is the new HBIC in charge? And Joy said the person with the first letter of the alphabet. Clifton was like, well, it's two girls with that first initial. But Joy said, no, 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 not the sidekick, the chick, Ashley. And then that's when Carmen said, well, maybe Ashley is trying to put you in your place. And then they bring up the whole seafood giving thing, and she was noticing how, they went in on Sherelle's wig at the Say That Ish party, talking about her really, really bad. And now they're in her face at the seafood giving, laughing and kikiing with her. And she just didn't understand that. And she was saying, she's in this new group and she hopes that they're not doing her the same way. And then that's when Carmen was like, well, you have to really let them know who you are and set your boundaries. And Joy was just like, yeah, I do. I'm building friendships, but I do have to let them know that I do have to let them know that let them know my boundaries. And yeah, that was pretty much it with that whole scene. So yeah. And now we have this whole sit down dinner with the Quicksilvers, Ashley and DJ and the family. They're sitting down, they're having dinner, and then Ashley brings out these contracts, right? So they bring out these contracts, and um it's talking about the kids. They're giving the contract to the kids, letting them know how to do their chores. Like, you got to get up in the morning, wash dishes, fix your bed, and all this other stuff, right? So DJ Quicksilver goes into this whole rant that do y'all notice that he really talks a lot now? He really, really like to hear himself talk. He really, really does. But anyway, so he gets to talking about Antonio, talking about the kids being entitled and spoiled, and all of a sudden he's back on this whole thing about Antonio not getting up to for school. And Ashley's like, why you keep bringing this up? And I'm like, girl, well, why you keep bringing this up? At the end of the day, this little boy is in your house. He's 15 years old. Set an alarm clock or something for him. I don't know. But you just cannot not let him go to school. And if he's not getting up, you might want to wake him up. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. So now Arena is preparing for her wig lunch, right? So she's preparing for her wig lunch, and she has Joy and Ashley to come over to do a photo shoot. So I believe she wants to have a total of 50 wigs, and she has 15 wigs ready. And, you know, Ashley comes in first. Ashley says she doesn't wear wigs. I guess she wear quick weaves. But her hair is really, really nice. Anyway, so Joy comes in, and they do the photo shoot. Everybody looks really nice. The wigs look really, really nice. And then Arena brings up the whole Say That Ish party. And they talk about Sherelle. And Arena says that her and Sherelle like oil and water, like they're always arguing about something. You know, it's always something. And then Arena asks Joy, is she coming to Winter's event? And Joy says that, you know, she ain't going. And so being that she's not going, you have Sherelle and you have Ashley and Arena saying, you know what, you need to come. You need to come because of the simple fact, what if she's off tone? You know, her tone is off. And Joy is like, y'all are very opinionated people. I'm pretty sure you will let her know if her tonality is off. And Arena says, Arena brings up the whole Sherelle thing. And Sherelle always saying stop speaking on for other people. And so Joy chimes in and she's saying, well, it's not about speaking for other people, but if they're friends, then you're going to say something. The same way Alicia does for Ashley. I said, girl, so you must really have a problem with Alicia always chiming in for Ashley. That's a lot. So, and then Ashley is like, you know, can y'all move forward? Is there a way that y'all can move forward? And then she says, why don't you just invite her out to your wig lunch? And Arena says, you know, she's not going to be friends with her and she's not going to kiki with her. But, you know, I guess she really didn't say yes or no, whether she didn't say in this scene if she was going to invite her to the wig lunch, but Ashley made the suggestion. And then Arena said, well, it's just like having Winter there. And then you seen Ashley's face kind of do a smirk. And then they end up changing the subject. And Arena says how much she appreciates them for coming and how nervous she was about, you know, her wig line and all of that. All right, so now you have the fathers and the sons. I thought this was a really good scene, but I mean, it was a really good scene. Just letting the kids know, you know, where they bringing them into a neighborhood. And I think they said that this was Southeast DC and it was like a high crime neighborhood. And as they were there, you can see the blood on the concrete and all that stuff. And so they're walking and they're talking. And the reason why they brought them there is just so they know that any decision that you make can put you in a bad situation, and just letting them know like the difference. This is not where you come from. You have a very privileged life. Like if you lived in the hood, then that may be your blood on the concrete, but you're in a situation to where you really have a upper hand on other kids that don't have as much money or don't have, you know what I'm saying, the education or whatever it is. They have a relatively good life. So the decisions that they make, you know what I'm saying, the decisions that they make should reflect in a positive way instead of in a negative way. And they're going around, they're talking or whatever, and they bring up the whole contract situation. And so Antonio was like, you know, the contract was cool or whatever, but I know I get to get a couple dollars at the end of the week. But DJ Quicksilver was just like, it ain't just about, you know, the money. It's about teaching you responsibility. And then that's when BJ, Big Jamie, he says, at your age, Antonio, is chores, but at little Jamie's age is bills. Boy, I wish I could go back to a chore, because these, woo, I ain't gonna talk about this gas bill. Oh, that gets on my nerves. How my gas bill gonna be higher than my light bill? But anyway, I've been on that. Ooh, okay, I ain't gonna talk about it. But anyway, so then they talk about LJ. He has a new job. He's like a teacher's aide or something at one of the it looks like, I think he's at an alternative school, because he said this is a school with kids that have, I guess, bad behavior, troubled kids. So we call it alternative schools. That, like, kids that got kicked out of the regular public school district, well, kids with behavioral problems, they got kicked out of the public schools and ended up going into the alternative school, but and it still helped them graduate. Okay. So he was talking about, his first day there, it was cold. I think it was the second day there, he was cold. He had on his big bubble jacket and all that stuff, but the other kids came in there with hoodies on. And he just didn't understand. Well, he was just like, man, that's when he started to realize, I have a really good life. I can dress how I want to dress, but these kids don't really have it like that. And he said the third day, that's when he said that he wanted to do, what I'm saying, a coat drive. And everybody was really proud of him, because it looks like he's coming a long way. And I'm really excited that LJ is really doing something to help somebody else instead of him being in a position to be helped, because it actually makes you feel better, and it's character development, and it makes you feel like a better man when you're able to do something for somebody else, and he's not always the one getting in trouble. And that was really good. And he said, he was telling not Lil Jamie, but he was telling Antonio, I was about 15 years old when I first got in trouble. And we just have to really watch out for the decisions that we're making. That's what he was telling Antonio. And that was really good that he was giving the boy, the little boy advice, because you want the kids to move forward in a positive manner and not go back and end up in jail or in trouble or whatever. So I thought that was pretty good. So now you have Arena. She's at her wig lunch, and she says no one is there. She said one of the models had canceled out, and she actually called Ashley to be one of the models. Ashley said that she would do it, but she told Ashley she can't come late. Ashley said she wasn't going to come late, but as we find out, she actually did. So now we have this whole podcast thing with Sherelle, her husband, Black Winter. And now there's a new person. I think his name is Yusun or Yusuf or You Should. Yeah, child, something. They're talking, and it's called, the podcast is Friends Who Smash. Is that the name of the podcast? Friends Who Smash? But anyway, so they invited Winter to come, and they told Winter to look really nice. So unbeknownst to Winter, they invited this other dude named Yushan or Yusuf. You know what? Yusha. That's all I'm gonna say. They invited him. And this is pretty much a hookup. Sherelle is trying to hook up Yusha and Winter. And they don't know it about each other. They don't know. So they actually named the podcast that they're having right now Dating After Divorce. And so they let Winter have the floor, and she talks about, she gives a whole backstory about, her marriage and how she ended up getting divorced. And then before before he started to tell his background and how he, was married and now he's divorced, he asked Winter, like, what's the difference in you being a married Winter than you being now, I guess, this single Winter. And then she just said about her expectations. She doesn't try to put so much into her expectations. I guess she gonna go with the flow. I just put that part in there. But she said something about expectations. And he said he appreciated that answer. And then he goes his whole rundown about him was married and a daughter and single and all that stuff. So pretty much Sherelle says, they're talking, they're looking at each other. It seems like, was it chemistry there? I really don't know. I know Winter was doing a lot of smiling, but I think Winter is a natural flirt. So I think she kind of flirts anyway. So maybe they gonna start dating or maybe not. I'm not for sure. But at the end of the day, Sherelle asked the question, so are y'all open to dating? They didn't really answer the question. All right, so now this is the day of the this is the actual start of the wig lunch. So Arena is up there and the models are going and the models are very beautiful. They crushed it. The scenery is beautiful. The balloons, the ambiance is nice. You know, the setting, it is a really, really beautiful place. Like she really, really did a good job. And her models, the wigs look nice. I was like, they don't even look wiggy. Like it looked like they had some nice, good quality human hair. Now, I'm not the best wig judger, but from what I saw, I would buy one of them wigs. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought it was look good. And they were really, really doing good. And even the audience, like when the models were walking, child, I would have probably had to cover my husband eyes. Because one of them models, honey, that black, he was looking like, I said, black, close your eyes. But anyway, so it was really good and everything went off. And oh yeah, I forgot to say that Sherelle came late, so she had to replace Sherelle with another model. All right, so that was that. And they all gather around each other like they always do at the events. And then Arena tells Sherelle, well, Arena actually invited Sherelle. And this is the part that was kind of funny to me because Arena invited Sherelle, but Sherelle said that she was the bigger person. But I was like, but if Arena invited you first, wouldn't that make Arena the bigger person and not you? Because at first she wasn't going to invite you. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So they said that every time they Arena was like, well, every time they get together, they argue. So she wanted to have a one-on-one conversation with Sherelle. And Sherelle says she's fine with that. So they go off into the back room and then they have this whole conversation, right? And so Arena says again to Sherelle, you know, she wanted to pull her to the side and talk to her one-on-one because every time they get together, they're arguing about something. And then she said, you know, she used the word shady when she said she didn't know that word would really set her off like that. And then Sherelle was like, yeah, it did, you know, because if somebody did your husband like that, then that would make you very upset. You know, that'll make you go off. But Arena said, you know, I'm extending the olive branch to you. You know, I want us to be in spaces to where we can be cordial. You know, we don't have to argue all the time, to where we can pretty much get along. And so that's when Sherelle was like, okay, I'm cool with it. We're going to be cool moving forward. They hug and then they walk out. So now they have this whole group, right? So as soon as Jamie walked over there, I said, Jamie drunk. Somebody take that out his hand because he's drunk. Jamie needs a 2-drink minimum. No, 2-drink maximum. His second drink, don't give him no more after that because that man be drunk. And I've noticed, and I hope they're not going to have the whole narrative that he's a drunkard, but when he be drunk. You know what I'm saying? I was like, God dog, Big Jamie, calm down. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so he get over there in front of the group. And he talking about, yeah, Raina, this cool and all. Everything is cool and all. But once all of this is done, we need to sit up here and talk about our content creating videos. I'm like, what y'all gonna be talking about? How y'all retired and in the house together and you ain't cleaning up? I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so everybody was like just taken aback because he was talking loud and he was saying, and everybody was trying to be like, okay, let's pretty much don't do this now. You know, don't make these statements. He said, I don't care what none of y'all say. Like, I don't care what none of y'all say. He talking about, I just need 2 hours of your day to make these videos. And he like, and that's what we gonna do. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. And then everybody just looking at him like, hold on, Jamie, you need to calm down. Like, you tripping right now. You doing too much. And then Jamie, like, he gonna talk about, y'all stop talking. That's y'all problem. You talk too much. And I'm just looking like, somebody get him, please. And then Ashley kind of jumps in and she just like, hey, if you talking to her like that, it's not cool. I'm not cool with it. Because he was a little aggressive. And he was like putting his foot down like, I know you got all this going on, but you going to have some time for me so we can do these videos. And I don't care what nobody say, you know, just going off. And I said, yeah, 2-drink maximum. We not doing this no more. And then you going to embarrass your wife in front of all them people after she just had this beautiful launch of her wigs. And yeah, you doing too much. And then it ended up going off. But I was just like, child, somebody get Jamie. But anyway, y'all, this is Sheila Beela. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I just don't understand why they didn't show the first part of that, the rest of that. Maybe it was something they didn't want us to see. I don't know, but I wanted to see it. They need to put it on an uncut clip or something so we can see what happened. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all thought about this episode of Love and Marriage DC. And I know I probably forgot a lot of things. Charge to my head, and I'm a heart and Jesus. Y'all have a great day. Bye.